What a crazy year in gaming it has been, from all the amazing surprises that have come to all the big disappointments. 2017 has offered a lot, but there is one thing that I'm confident about, and it's that Electronic Arts is the video game company of the year. Wait, let me explain. Nintendo I really think had this year locked in with a phenomenal launch of the Nintendo Switch and some great games including Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey. Following the underwhelming Wii U, the Switch has brought Nintendo back onto the right path and the future looks bright with upcoming games that include Metroid Prime 4. But in these final months, Electronic Arts really stole the show, grabbing headlines and bringing light upon their predatory practices with microtransactions. They're the driving reason why loot boxes may end up getting banned for anyone under 21 from purchasing. Currently, the states of Hawaii, Georgia, North Carolina, Connecticut, Washington, and Minnesota have representatives looking into drafting law that could put a huge axe into EA and other publishers' monetization scheme. While some people like Jim Sterling think this is the year of the loot box, I think it's more of the year of Electronic Arts. Don't be fooled, Electronic Arts didn't mess up once or twice this year, they had consistent screw-ups year-round. It really all began with Mass Effect Andromeda that got rushed through the door. Most of us knew the game was in trouble with many of the game's lead developers jumping ship before the release, but to describe Mass Effect Andromeda as disappointing would be an understatement.
Ryder could find it. She has a scanner. Quick, Ryder, use it to locate the vault.
On it.
I'll try to get readings on the second conduit.
All right, what happened?
To who?
To whom? And your goddamn father. Sorry, my face is tired.
The game was a mess that EA allowed to get released. What I find a little bit funny is the statement by EA CFO Blake Jorgensen, who said in November of 2016, "We're willing to make moves in launch dates if we feel that it's necessary to deliver the right player experience. Our guidance assumes that Mass Effect continues to be in this fiscal year, but it gives us some flexibility that we might choose to move it either a week or 3 or 4 or 5 months if we have to, based on what we want to make sure in terms of delivering the right experience to the players." The game had already been delayed to early 2017, and these comments made it seem like BioWare Montreal's first and last game, Mass Effect Andromeda, was going to get the love and care it deserved, but it actually is a game that many fans will want to forget. I mean, EA's already forgotten by killing the developer BioWare Montreal and cancelling any plans for single-player content, as well as putting the franchise on hiatus. It may be a very long time till we ever see another Mass Effect game, sadly. But also around this time on the business side, EA was making lots and lots and lots of money, revealing that their Ultimate Team feature and sports games that include FIFA and Madden annually make them $800 million. This was additionally the exact moment that slimy EA revealed that they wanted to implement the Ultimate feature to other games. EA CFO Blake Jorgensen said, quote unquote, "Like Battlefield or Battlefront, our Star Wars game, which are very similar in the depth of play, we can possibly add a similar mechanic to that. We spent a lot of time thinking about it. Not for tomorrow, but over the next couple of years, you're going to see a lot more of that in our portfolio." Now obviously months later, we would see their master plan, which failed in a big way. Next we have is E3 2017, where EA surprised everyone with the reveal of BioWare Edmonton's next game, Anthem. And that's probably about the only highlight or good thing that came from EA during that event. Oh, and also this.
What up, guys? Thank you for having me, EA. If you guys don't know who I am, my name is Jesse Wellens, and I am a YouTube creator. So I am here to talk about Need for Speed Payback. If you guys didn't know, Need for Speed Payback, yeah, it's a great game. But all right, all set aside, I'm a YouTube creator. Need for Speed Payback, it's coming out. I got my boy Marcus, executive producer here. He is the producer in the game. Thank you, Nick, for having me.
Hey, man. Thanks, Jesse. Obviously, we're really excited to tell everyone about...
What a story, Mark.
Since this event, it should be noted that Anthem is in a lot of trouble, and BioWare Edmonton employees fear that they could be shut down next, depending on how the game performs. I've discussed in depth the issues that face Anthem in a dedicated video, but this game does look promising, although it has a lot of problems and already has lost some lead developers. Hopefully this situation sounds familiar, because right now Anthem is seemingly in the same shape that Mass Effect Andromeda was. which is a bit scary. Now, the last few months of 2017 is really where EA took a turn for the worst, solidifying their spot at top of the landfill. Longtime developer best known for their Dead Space franchise, Visceral Games was shut down, along with their linear Uncharted-like Star Wars game, which was called Project Ragtag. EA would release a statement trying to justify their decision to shut down Visceral, but they also revealed that Project Ragtag was pretty much being scrapped and being turned into a games as service. Later on, EA's CFO Blake Jorgensen would give us a little bit more insight to why this Star Wars game was axed, saying, "As we kept reviewing the game, it continued to look like a much more linear game, which people don't like as much today as they did 5 years ago or 10 years ago. Other than this bogus statement, Jorgensen would also state the obvious, saying you have to cut the bridge when you realize you can't make a lot of money on something, which really emphasizes EA not giving a shit about the quality of games, only caring about the money. Even a former longtime BioWare employee, shortly after the announcement of Visceral Games being shut down, said this about EA. EA and those big publishers in general only care about the highest return on investment. They don't actually care about what the players want, they care about what the players will pay for. A few weeks after Visceral was shut down, EA purchased Titanfall developer Respawn Entertainment, and as the community has said, rest in peace Respawn. But finally, we now move to Star Wars Battlefront 2. Thanks to YouTube channel The Game Theorist, I did not realize EA was so smart. When the game had its first gameplay revealed to the public with all kinds of famous YouTubers playing it, they all apparently signed a contract beforehand, which sadly explains why they for the most part have been silent on the predatory nature of this game. Only the evil empire EA could do something like that. But anyway, not much needs to be said about this game, because through numerous videos we've discussed what EA did. It all began in the beta, where initial worries began, but EA promised that this would help them make a better experience. But days before launch, we were wrong in a big way. EA's justification which followed was insulting, resulting in the most downvoted Reddit response ever, and Disney had to intervene, which led to EA taking the microtransactions for the game offline. Temporarily. Whoever at EA thought it was a brilliant idea to revolve a game's progression system around microtransactions either did not care or thought that they could get away with it, but thankfully consumers stood up for once, giving a big fat FU finally to the evil empire. Following this disaster, EA's Battlefront 2 sales suffered, and they've now become the laughingstock of this industry.
I'm getting wrecked. Can't I buy some stronger units?
Buy units? Son, we don't talk like that in this house.
Come with me.
Your grandfather didn't give his life just so his grandson could pay money to be good at something.
But, Dad, Grandpa's still alive.
And your mother. She wanted to bring you into a world where you'd be judged by your elite skills, not by what you spend.
What is your vision for PlayStation in 2018?
Well, I think we continue along our path, putting my Worldwide Studios hat on. I think in Worldwide Studios, we have a lot of energy, a lot of devotion, a lot of love around storytelling, around narrative. You know, some people call that single-player gaming. We do have most of our eggs in that basket, just because that's the thing we do well, I think. In my humble opinion, IMHO. And I don't want to go to any of those teams and tell them, you know, I read in a magazine that there's something called Games as a Service. Make me one of those. I don't want to be that guy.
One of the reasons I'm so pleased to see Horizon be such a huge hit is because, well, it's a single-player game. And I love single-player games. I mean, I think it's fair to say it seems like people still want them. What do you think?
I've answered that question right.
And the game award goes to, oh man, I have to pay a microtransaction to unlock. That's so stupid that this has to, hold on, I got this, guys, here we go. You know it's true, it's really stupid.
Every hour around the globe, neglected gamers feel lonely, shunned by their multiplayer counterparts. But here at Bethesda, we are working toward a solution. We make all sorts of games, but single-player experiences are a big part of our DNA. The need to save single-player gamers. Everyday gamers in search of a single-player experience are left behind. Forgotten, neglected. Many were rescued and found their way into amazing adventures, but others, well, they weren't as fortunate. For the price of just a few Nuka-Cola Quantums, you can share the fun of an epic single-player journey today. Together, we can end the pain for single-player gamers in need. Right? We work together.
Even one of their own developers somewhat dissed them out.
And this is my idea. It doesn't have anything with the EA shit going on, with the loot box and stuff.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Look. I'm gonna say to you one thing. EA has been very good to me.
Yes.
And to be honest with you, they're getting, because it's nice to hate EA, blah, blah. I don't care about that shit. What I'm saying is this. All publishers fuck up sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
That's how it is. They fuck up.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. Like, in this case, it's like they've been treating me very well. That's what I'm saying. I have 100% of the income to my team for the game I'm doing, you know?
And it's coming soon, right?
Yeah, it's coming. I'm talking too long.
Besides just EA ruining Battlefront 2, they also managed to try pretty much the same thing with Need for Speed Payback, which again backfired on them. Also, whoever thought it was a cool idea to add a Jake Paul Easter egg in the game is an idiot. But since this whole debacle, EA has slowly gotten more and more quiet. This year still saw them bring in record numbers in profit thanks to their sports franchise, although it's clear their reputation is tarnished. Electronic Arts even managed to anger Snoop Dogg.
Y'all got a bunch of motherfuckers mad right now, and I'm one of them. Fix this shit, man. What the f is going on, EA?
As I mentioned at the beginning, they also now need to worry about regulation, as Hawaii politician Chris Lee leads the charge to stop companies like EA from continuing their slimy monetization scheme that for the most part is targeted and played by kids.
This game is a Star Wars themed online casino designed to lure kids into spending money. It's a trap.
This is for the most part a brush over of what EA has done this year. Being someone who plays mobile gaming, EA has also gotten even more slimier with their free-to-play games, turning those experiences like Madden Mobile into a pay-to-win nightmare. But for the most part, they get away with it, just like their Ultimate Team games, and it may not be long till EA has to do some restructuring. 2017 has been EA's year. Sure, for all the wrong reasons, but this year belongs to them, and honestly I'm okay with that. This truly shows not just EA, but other publishers like Activision and Warner Brothers that consumers are not going to put up with their cash grab attitudes. Thankfully, there still are good publishers out there like CD Projekt and Sony leading by example, but hopefully 2018 is a better year. As Paradox Interactive CEO recently claimed, 2018 is going to be the year where gamers take the power back. So it seems that this year, while it may have been chaotic with all the AAA games utilizing loot boxes, maybe Battlefront 2 and EA's overstepping will change everything. Anyway guys, do you think 2017 is the year of EA? Let me know in the comment section below, but thank you for watching. Make sure to like the video if you did enjoy or found any informative value, and consider subscribing for more videos like this, and I'll see you later.